How long is the vagina? Rather, how deep is it? I'm going to tell you literally in inches and in centimeters. I'm Dr. Jen. It's good to see you. We're talking about this because you should know about it. Also, we have plenty of information about how long the penis is. By the way, lots of people are very surprised about the truth about penis size, but we need to focus on vaginas because that's equally as important. All right, let's just jump right in. There are a few different studies with some different data. I'm going to quote one of them. This is a study that was done by an International Journal of Obstetrics and Gynecology, BJOG. This is a peer-reviewed journal. They did a small study, or rather they published a small study that showed that the mean length, the mean depth of the vagina in inches, and we'll start with that first, is about, guys, take a look at here we go, is about 3.78 inches, which is about this long. All right, you see that? 3.78 inches is sort of the mean depth of the vagina. This was in their small study. That equates to about 9.6 centimeters for those of you who like centimeters, okay? Mean depth. Does this surprise you? Write in the comments, by the way. Is this kind of what you thought? By the way, scratch that. I'm not going to get to that yet. All right, but there is a range because people are not just one size fits all. And that range goes from anywhere from about 2.56 inches, which is about this much, to 4.92 inches, which is about this much. For those of you who like centimeters, that's a range of 6.5 to 12.5 centimeters, okay? So, recapping, 3.78 was the mean depth of the vagina in this particular study published in this journal. There are, again, other studies, and it's sort of about this range, like mean length or depth around 9 to 10 centimeters, okay? Now, you should know, though, that the vagina changes length, changes size, based on a number of factors. When we are aroused, our vagina is gonna stretch, it's gonna lengthen, blood flow, lubrication, all sorts of stuff is happening. So it's sort of gonna grow, okay? By the way, I didn't talk about vaginal width. So this is the length, like how deep it is up into the body. I didn't talk about width, like how wide it is. Keep in mind that the width actually changes based on where you are in the vagina. Closer to the outside of the body, the width is smaller, and it gets wider as you get up towards the cervix. Speaking of a little bit of anatomy there, remember, we oftentimes use the word vagina just to describe everything down there. It's not everything down there. Let's first start with the lips, the outer lips, like our labia. That is called the vulva. Vulva involves the external genitalia. Sort of the hole in the entryway is the vagina. The vagina is the tube that leads up to the cervix and the uterus, okay? Lots of things go in our vaginas. Tampons go in our vaginas. Penises go in our vaginas. Sometimes sex toys, sometimes fingers, babies, okay? And that's where they come out. So it does probably make sense to you that our vaginal sort of width and even length can change. Certainly does in pregnancy, right? By the way, let's talk about the things that can cause changes in vaginal length and width, okay? So it will expand our vagina with childbirth and pregnancy, intercourse, objects, and fingers. We obviously know that. But there are some other factors that really sort of determine what our overall size is, even to start out with. First of all, as I kind of implied, a non-aroused vagina is likely and usually a different size than an aroused size, right? When we get aroused, our vagina often lengthens, sort of grows, shifts, can stretch, etc., because of the blood flow, the lubrication, etc. But other things, age and menopause can affect the size, rather the length, etc., of your vagina. Genetics, right? We are all just created differently. Pregnancy, childbirth, we talked about that. Your pelvic floor anatomy and your pelvic floor musculature, right? That can affect it. Any surgeries that you've had definitely will likely affect your vaginal length, etc. Okay? So keep that in mind. This is important to keep in mind. There's so much hype that goes into penis size. And I think it's really important to talk about the fact that the mean vaginal length, or depth rather, is really about this long, okay? With some variation. And of course, if you're stimulated and aroused, it is likely going to get larger. In fact, it can actually almost even, in some cases, double or get close to it. Remember that everyone is created equally. You are fine and you are perfect just the way you are. Let me know if any of this is surprising. I think this is an important video to do because, well, a lot of times we don't think about these things, or we simply don't know. Guys, I'm Dr. Jen Caudle, practicing family physician, honor health expert, and video creator. Please subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Facebook. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, WhatsApp, etc. Go to my website. Sign up for my health newsletter, drjencaudle.com. Love y'all.